Welcome back to Growth TV. I'm Carolyn Vallejo here today with Yvanna Perez-Morel. She is Senior Director of Corp Dev and Innovation Fund at Ulta Beauty. So Yvanna, tell me about Ulta Beauty's digital innovation fund, Prisma Ventures.
Yes, absolutely. So Prisma Ventures is, as you said, Ulta Beauty's digital innovation fund, is our VC arm that focus on finding those tech investments that we think really have the potential of shaping the future of retail. A couple of things that we focus on when we are looking at companies for Prisma Ventures. One, we're typically looking at very, very early stage companies. So think about Series A, Series Seed, in some cases Series Pre-Seed, but most of the times it's Series A or Seed. Second thing is that we typically don't write the largest checks. We typically don't lead the rounds. So we look to partner with investors that do. And we typically are pretty good partners to them, right? And the third one, I would say, is really that focus. We really have a focus or one focus area or two that really is changing constantly and focuses on whether what's happening in the market or what's happening internally in our digital innovation team. So all that combines to try to find a portfolio, but also to support our entrepreneurs. And I would say that's exactly what makes Prisma Ventures really special. We focus on what are some of these true partnerships that we can create. So as I said, we're really not writing the largest checks, but what we do is that we do things like we give them space to test their products or services in one or several of our 1,300 stores. We are oftentimes giving them insights from our 40 plus million members of our loyalty program, and or we are testing technologies with them. In all cases, these entrepreneurs are having access to executives from Ulta Beauty, and they're working hand in hand with them, which is typically huge for early stage companies, right?
That absolutely is huge. So how does Prisma Ventures fit into Ulta Beauty's broader corporate development strategy?
That's a great question, actually, and it was one that we debated internally a lot when we were setting up the fund. I would say these are two different arms, if you will, but they really complement each other. So on one side, we have the traditional Corp Dev arm, which focuses on what are the enterprise priorities, what are the things that come out of the long-term planning process that are going to affect kind of like the future of the company, if you will. Those are one example of those that I always like to give is Ulta Beauty at Target. So we are at like 300 or 400 Target. We have like shop in those stores. That's a good example of that side. On the other side, we have Prisma Ventures. And Prisma Ventures really focuses on something completely different. It focuses on entrepreneurs and supporting those entrepreneurs that are creating the future of retail from a tech perspective. We're placing small bets and we're placing really investments in those companies. So I would say they have very different goals, but they do complement each other because having this separate arm enables us to have a team that's dedicated to understanding what those tech investments and where the future of that retail space is going, at the same time understanding the internal roadmap for digital innovation and really shaping what that portfolio could look like. Plus, it helps really nurture portfolio companies, like once they're in with us, meaningfully. Otherwise, you would have a little bit less focus.
Right, definitely. Now, you spoke on a DealMax panel about measuring acquisition success. So what does success mean to you and to your team?
Yes, absolutely. So we really think about investments as we have a very holistic view to investments. So for each company, we look at, okay, should we invest? Should we partner? Should we acquire them? But we also think about what exactly do we want to achieve with this company? And it's typically a mutually agreed upon roadmap, if you will. So when it comes to what we are looking for and what we measure, we look at three things. One, we are really focused on what is that goal and what is that thing, if you will, that we think we can build together. Two, we focus a lot on cultural fit. Because of that first component being so important, cultural fit becomes key. And then last, but definitely not least, it's the financial component comes as a third. And I would say in that order, just because ultimately each goal for each portfolio company, it's bespoke to them. And ultimately, whether they're successful or not in our portfolio really goes to, did we achieve that initial goal that we have together?
Got it. So it sounds like it's very clear that you care very much about these portfolio companies, about these founders, and you really want them to succeed. Wonderful.
That's why I said that I think that that's what makes Prisma Ventures special. I mean, we don't write the largest checks, so this is what we think, this is how we think we add value to these companies.
Absolutely. Got it. Well, Yvanna, thank you so much for joining Growth TV.
Thank you for having me.